Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Blessing Albright and you're very welcome to my channel. On this channel, I like to yap about hot topics that are bugging my mind. I like to film my travel vlogs. I like to film random life events as well. So if that is your kind of thing, feel free to subscribe to my channel and I promise you're going to love it here. So today guys, I have a very hot topic that has literally been on my mind for a while. So yes, let's talk about it. From the thumbnail or the title, you can already tell what it is we're talking about today. And it's about if it's still worth relocating to the UK in big 2025, you guys. Like I've been having some discussions with like my friends and I thought, you know what, it'd probably be good to hear what other people think. So before I even start giving you guys my own points, I'd really love for you to go into the comment section and based on everything that you currently know, without me putting anything in your head, let me know if you think relocating to the UK in 2025 is still a great idea. Okay, so now that that is done, let's get straight into the video. For people who are new here, I myself relocated from Nigeria to the UK in 2021. So it's been about 4 years now. And ordinarily, I'll probably be due for like ILR, which is indefinite leave to remain, next year. But as things currently stand, with the recent information that have been passed across from the UK government, they are trying to review the entire process, and although nothing concrete has been said yet, there are currently uncertainties in the process of getting indefinite leave to remain for people on many visa types. Leaving that aside, right, let's just go into like the general things that are involved in relocating and if it still makes sense in 2025. So first things first, let's talk about some of the reasons why people even choose to leave their own countries or relocate in the first place. The first one, of course, is education. So lots of people choose to move abroad to get enrolled in better universities, to school in top universities and colleges in countries different from their own countries. The next one is job opportunities. So a lot of people also choose to move abroad to find new opportunities, probably earn more for the skills that they have to offer, or just go to places where their skills are much more valued. The third one is better quality of life. A lot of people, especially from like developing countries, tend to move abroad for better quality of life because they are able to access certain amenities with more ease and they just probably get a better quality of life. And then the next one is cultural exploration. So some people also choose to move abroad just to explore different cultures, get a different vibe to life and see what's out there, you know. Some people also move abroad to reunite with their family members who are probably abroad, like wives joining their husbands abroad, or people joining their parents abroad and things like that. So the fact is, all of these things still remain very much true and very much applicable to the UK even in 2025. So there are still like lots of great universities, there are still like lots of amazing jobs, there are like opportunities to get better quality of life in the UK. So these reasons are still very much valid in 2025. Although there are certain hindrances and certain things that could stand as roadblocks in sort of achieving some of these things, but the fact is those things still remain very much valid in 2025. Okay, so what are some of the things that have changed? Starting with the first one, for example, which is education. The UK has made some changes to how people come into the UK to study. For example, previously, students used to be able to come to the UK with their dependents. So if you are a man, you could come with your wife and your children to the UK to study, but since 2024 they stopped that and you are no longer able to bring your dependents when you're coming to the UK to study, except you're coming for like a PhD or a sponsored government program. So for students whose intention it is to come study, you know, they don't need to bring dependents, they're probably like single and you also intend to like come here to study and go back to your home country afterwards, I feel like the UK is still a very great place to do that. But if your intention is to study and then look for opportunities to stay afterwards, like, you know, get onto the path to proceed on to ILR, it's definitely important to like do a lot of research and be sure that you're comfortable with your options, because there are like lots of new things that have been introduced that could put some strains on the process. So for example, if you are a graduate and you're trying to get into the job market, you need to get a visa sponsorship for you to, you know, continue to stay after, let's say, your post-study work visa has expired. So what the government has done is they have increased the threshold of, you know, the salary that you need for you to be sponsored for an eligible job in the UK, and increasing that threshold means that a lot of jobs will potentially not be able to, meet that. And it's not even just graduates, it's like people in general, because it's so expensive to like sponsor people. Lots of companies are shying away from doing that, and the government is also trying to make companies recruit people who are British nationals compared to like people who are from other nationalities. So a lot of companies that have roles will have like loads of people competing for those roles, and all of this is basically like having an effect on the job market, especially for people who require sponsorships. And even when people get the job and then switch to the skilled worker visa and are on a path to, indefinite leave to remain, the UK government could literally just wake up one day with a different rule that sort of affects your plans. For some job types, like people in the care sector who used to be able to previously bring dependents as well, the UK government decided they did not want them to bring dependents anymore. So people on that route had to, do some reshuffling and do some rethinking. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the policies here can be quite volatile, and it's almost like they wake up every day and come up with new things that people sort of have to live by. Another thing to definitely consider if you're coming to the UK to school as well is the cost of living, because you will definitely need to pay your school fees and also sustain yourself while you're here for the duration of your education. And quite frankly, the cost of living in the UK is literally going up like every day. Like things are getting more expensive by the day. Transportation, groceries, general things that you need to survive. So it is important to be informed about all of these things and put all of this in your calculation before making the very brave decision. And of course, you also want to look at what's at the end of the tunnel for you. What are you going to get at the end of the day? So yes, like I said before, if getting that degree is what is most important to you, then absolutely. But like if other things like being able to permanently relocate, or get your indefinite leave to remain is something that is very important to you, you also need to do a lot of research and see what your options are. Like the job markets can be quite crazy sometimes. Like I remember when I was also trying to like change jobs. So like I mentioned before, I moved here on a skilled worker visa, and when I wanted to change my job, it was like way harder than I thought. Like it took way longer than I thought it would, because the job market is just really crazy. Like I said before, lots of companies are not willing to sponsor, and the ones who are willing to sponsor have like lots of people competing for the same roles. I mean, there are like opportunities in like different sectors, like the NHS. There are opportunities in the tech sector. So it's also important to make sure that whatever course you're studying or whatever educational path you're taking is something that is going to help you find the right opportunities that can basically help you stay. Anyway, as you guys can probably tell, I'm trying to be cautious, and I don't want to say anything that would sort of discourage anyone. I do not want to discourage anyone. I think the UK is absolutely still an amazing place to relocate to, but it's so important to be informed and do adequate research so that you know exactly what you are going to get, so you're not disappointed by the process. Personally, I would say it's been an amazing experience. I've absolutely loved it here. Of course, I miss my family members back home, but aside that, I do not regret moving to the UK at all. I have had like lots of opportunities that I probably would not have had back home, which I'm forever thankful for. So yes, I definitely think moving to the UK is still a great move in 2025, as long as you do your research and you're happy with the process. Just to summarize, as I always tell my friends, I feel like one of the best ways to move to the UK in 2025 is through a job. So if you're able to secure a job offer that is willing to sponsor you, I feel like that is still one of the best ways to move. Or if you're able to get global talent visa that you literally don't even like need direct sponsorship from any organization, I feel like those are like some really great ways to move to the UK. If you're coming to study, of course, it's still a good thing, as long as you have a clear plan on how to make that more permanent, if that's what you want to do. Or if your plan is to go back home and do other things back home, absolutely great. Or if your plan is to like move to other countries as well, that's always like a good idea. But honestly, if you don't have clear plans or you've not done adequate research, I feel like if you're coming to wing it, the UK is definitely not the place to come to wing it or try your luck. I feel like moving to the UK in 2025 is something you need to plan properly and be sure that it's actually right for you. Because the truth is, there are like lots of other countries out there that you could explore, you know, places like the US, Canada, countries in Europe, and so many more, right? So, yes, while the UK is still great to relocate to, it's very important to also consider the options that you have. Anyway, those are the few things I just wanted to say. As I said before, I would really love to hear from you guys if you think relocating to the UK is still very much a good idea in 2025 or not. And feel free to share your reasons why as well if you can. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys. So yeah, stay safe. Bye.